origins of the man I've become today. Now, by no means am I anywhere at the level that I believe I will be in my future reality, but I'm about to say like 1%, maybe not that, but like 10, 20%, not nothing yet. But the man I've become so far is all been part of a self-development process, personal development. Your level of success will never exceed your level of personal development. I hold this truly to my heart, and this is the main thing that has changed my life around. Okay, so guys, let me take you down memory lane. Right, so memory lane. It all started. This process for me has been going on for about 7 years now and counting. So I'm 23 years old now. So yeah, do the math. 16. Okay, so it all started at 16 years of age, and this is where this was a point in my life which I was going through quite a low point. I was a normal kid. Like I stood out, not for the right reasons, I'd say. Um, so I was just there, my own little world, my own corner. I was everything that you see from me now was the opposite. I was skinny. I was low self-esteem, low confidence. Like any friendship group I was in, it was just to be there. Like I didn't even fit in with anybody really. Only a few people. Um, but yeah, that was kind of me growing up as a child. It was in secondary school. It was tough. As a result of that, being the weakest in link, you'd say the weakest person in the room, I got bullied for as a result of that. So yeah, it was quite hard to endure. But like most things, when you endure enough pain of something, it causes a change. Because people, they make a change when they've endured enough pain. So they run away from pain rather than running towards pleasure. So that's when a change occurs. That's a change equation. So for me, I was like, enough is enough. So I went to the gym. So this was June 2016, I believe. June 2016, end of GCSEs. So I just go back a little bit. So from about age 14 to 16, that was when I was the bullying and the me feeling low was at its peak. So I was there enduring that, like just like hating myself, like just having no self worth, just thinking to myself, what is the point? Like why is this happening to me? Like anybody that's been bullied before, I'm sure you've had those thoughts like, why me? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, you just look at yourself in the mirror, you feel like you're worthless. Like, no one appreciates you. Um, and yeah, like nobody actually knew at the time. This is something that I just kept to myself. Like I said, I was very introverted back then, so I never really, spoke about things like this. I just kept all of this inside of my heart, and my parents, no family, no friends knew about this. So it's even more painful. So, but yeah, I mean, the journey started when I got into the gym. This was the summertime, so just after GCSEs, and I went with one of my friends at the time. This guy was the strongest guy in our friendship group. He was known to be very strong, and he'd go to the gym, of course. And he asked me if I wanted to come. I was like, hell yeah, I'll be down for that. At that time, I already wanted to go to the gym. I'd been researching like non-stop, like 16, just researching in my room after school, like how to get big, how to put on muscle, what to eat. So that came at a good time. I was like, yeah, let's go. So then we went there. He showed me, like, I just followed his workout, and I just fell in love with it. Like, I mean, like I just fell in love with the feeling. It wasn't about getting results there and then. It was about the feeling. Like I generally felt like I just felt I was so happy. I felt like my self-worth and my level of positivity just rose to a level that is just, I can't even put it into words, but it was just, I just fell in love with the feeling and of working out and lifting weights. So that was the day. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, if you don't, I'll put it in the description. It's Faison underscore first, Faison underscore first. You will see on my Instagram, one of my reels is me at 16 when I was skinny doing deadlifts. That was my first day in the gym. and this is what I'm telling you guys about now. That was my first day, right? You see me now, like all jacked. Back then, 7 years ago, I was not the case. I was skinny, and yeah. But from that day forward, I knew this is what I love. This is my passion. This is what I want to do. Like, and no one's gonna stop me. That this is it. So from there, like I just kept going to the gym like 5, 6 days a week, every week, just week after week after week. And then what I noticed was like 6 months, a year in, like the bullying was going lower. Like people would try and push me around, but the force they could push me around with before, I was resisting. Like I had strength now. Like so, I even remember actually in sixth form year 12. So I was year 13. Sorry, so I was 18 at the time. And this guy who's in business class sat next to me, and he started feeling my arm like, damn, like you're getting stronger. I was like, I know I am. I've been going to the gym. I just in that moment, I visioned it now. I felt very proud of myself. Like I've actually put in the work and been doing this now. So at the time, it'd been 2 years in. I just felt way better about myself. Like my self-worth, my confidence level rose through the roof. Like I was still not, how I am now or anything like that. But I mean, compared to before working out to now, to at that point, I mean, yeah, like it's completely off the charts. So yeah, that was like with fitness, and that was 2 years in. I felt confident, felt better about myself, self-worth, and I just at that point I was already in love with the process of working out. I made it a staple in my life. Like it's not even something that I even consider. Like it's just part of lifestyle, really. So yeah, I mean that was a turning point for me in my life. And then so now this is me at 18. So I'd got into shape now at this point. So I was pretty good shape, like quite buff. Like you can see I had like muscles and all the cuts. I was lean. I've always been lean. So yeah, everything was coming through. So yeah, that was yeah, like that's and what I call it now when I exercise now, I call it flow state. So it's not even me working out for the size now. It's more about how I feel. Like guys, chase how you feel. Believe me, when you do things, when you feel at a certain level, at the highest frequency, you'll notice that you'll start to do things way better because you're just feeling good. So yeah, that's at the start of my journey there. And then from there, 18, that's now where I went to university. So I started going to uni. Of course, the workout was a staple, and I was taking it more serious as well because living there, I'd buy my own food. I'd be eating more, and that's when I met people there that I trained with, who were stronger than me, and that pushed me even more to just keep growing and being better in that sense. So yeah, so this is now 3 years into this personal development journey from 16 to 19. Things started to change for me just simply just working out and building the discipline and the habits to continually go to the gym and continually just keep self-improving. So yeah, that is, if you guys are not working out right now, I don't know what you're doing. Like should be, if you're feeling low, I promise you, go murder a workout and tell me how you feel after that. Like nobody goes into the gym, works out, and comes out feeling worse. Like that does not happen. So 100%, that was a massive turning point for me. Now that's the physical side. Now despite that was really improving, I still had some limiting beliefs, some insecurities about myself, like the way I viewed the world, the way I thought people perceived me. So what really helped me, so now let's just skip forward a little bit. So after university now, I graduated when I was 21. Okay, and at this point, like obviously the fitness is still there. Of course, I got a 2-1 in accounting and finance, so my education was going good. but in a way, this is a blessing. But I was looking to apply for, I did accounting and finance, so I was looking to apply for accounting and finance roles, but nothing came about. So I wasn't able to actually get a job there. Um, so then what ended up happening was I actually ended up working in Weatherspoons, right? Yeah, I know, right? Me and Weatherspoons. You probably couldn't picture that, but I mean, yeah. So I'm from the UK. So anyone watching this is not from the UK. Weatherspoons is like a pub that is like well known, like it's like a well known pub in the UK. So I was doing that, and that was just to get some cash. Like at the moment, I was broke. You know, uni life. That's what it does to most people. I was kind of just going through uni as, how do I say this? I'd say from the start of the personal development journey till now, I was pretty much a victim with the bullying and things. I was a victim, and then with the uni, just kind of like just following what others did, like just a victim in that sense. So part of that was I would just be spending my money recklessly, and so any money I did make was gone the following week. So yeah, so I needed some money there, and so I got that job. Um, but at this point, I already okay. So I forgot something. So during my second year of university, when I was 19, I decided that I knew like uni and working with somebody was not for me. And how I got introduced into consolidating this belief was trading. So I actually knew some people that were into trading, and I was just, one of the jobs I was working at as a warehouse job, and the guy was just talking about trading with his friends. I was like listening in. I was like, like this it seems quite interesting. Let me listen in. And they were just talking about trading and their journey. Some of them were making profit. I was like, damn, I want to know more about this. So I started asking questions. And then I just started finding out more and more. And then after that conversation, I went, did my research, and then I started really like having a passion for trading. And I just started just researching the charts. But because I never really had money at the time, I didn't think it was worth me investing into trading. So those few years until I graduated uni, all I would do is just go through the charts, analyze, understand the markets. And so yeah, that was a big part of my journey in going from knowing that I'm not going to be an employee for somebody and trying to find out or being first introduced into the entrepreneurial kind of space, like finding out what I wanted to do. I was still unclear, but trading was the first thing I was introduced to. But yeah, so fast forward now back to the end of union and that Weatherspoons job. I decided, okay, this is pointless. Like I'm not moving forward. If you're not progressing, you're regressing. So to me, I felt like I was going backwards. Like I'm got an accounting degree. Why am I doing this job? So from there, after getting leaving that job, I then decided. I sat down and I just thought to myself, what am I lacking right now? Like, what is something that I need? And as I said, my limiting beliefs, the way I perceive the world, the way I thought people perceive me, and my people skills, and being an introvert still to an extent. What better skill to learn? I thought to myself, like a light bulb moment, sales, right? So that was it, sales. So I then started going onto Indeed and searching sales, like what sales jobs are there, and then in my area. So I started searching sales jobs, and a few came up, and then I saw this one. For some reason, I don't know why I picked this one, but it was commission, and it said you can earn, I think it was 750 to 2,000 a week. I was like, whoa. this is to me, this is crazy money. Like I'm like, I've never seen that kind of money before. So instead of like applying, I actually called them, and I got into the role. So yeah, I'll just skip forward a little bit. I don't want to bore you guys with the whole recruitment process. But when I actually got the role, I was then in that role for a year, and I can't even. It's hard to comprehend how much I grew in my personal development journey just from that sales job alone. I mean, what I actually went through in that year, I mean, that was the biggest amount of change I think I've ever made in one single year. I went from being an introvert 21-year-old straight out of uni who would go into a room full of other salespeople, salesmen, saleswomen, and when we were practicing our pitch, I remember just being in the corner like some dork, man, some loser just in the corner. It makes me actually laugh now when I think about how I was back then. But just standing in the corner, just practicing my pitch, and I was so shy. I was such an introvert. Like, that's anyone that's an introvert, you would be able to resonate with me right now. But don't think you can't change, because you definitely can. I have, so you can. So yeah, I was just in the corner. I didn't want anybody to I didn't want to be put in the center of the room. But we were practicing, and I remember I was practicing with this girl who's been like one of the top performers in the role. Her name was T, and yeah, I remember she said, "Yeah, go on, your turn," and then I did it, and just, yeah, it was not great. But the moral of the story is, when I first came in, that was my first day, introverted, shy, and then as I progressed, something about me is I'm very good at adapting in situations and putting myself in situations to grow. And that's everything about personal development. For you to be able to develop personally, like develop yourself, you have to be willing to break comfort zones. And believe me when I tell you, that sales job broke so many comfort zones. Like, it's actually unbelievable. But so from being an introvert to a year later, I'd gone through so much. I'd gone through conducting interviews for people that wanted to join the company. I'd gone through like building and like managing a team of people. Like, I could never have fathomed this when I first joined the sales role. I just thought, no, like, I can't do this. But I just shift that mindset that, why can't I do this? Well, just because I can't do it now? But that's the whole point of personal development, the whole point of growth, to change, to better yourself. And that's exactly what I did in the sales job. And I couldn't have, like, I'm just so glad that happened to me. I'm so glad that I ended up doing that sales role. And despite doing that, I now have gotten more confidence and started feeling way better about myself. Of course, fitness is still there, ever present. And now I feel confident in myself. Like, I feel like I have more self-worth. Like, I feel like I felt like this is like I'm worth it now. Like, like I'm actually somebody to be to respect. So, I mean, 5 years now since I started 16, right? This is me at 21. It's an exponential growth, huge growth, from being that quiet, introverted, skinny victim of a man to a 21-year-old who's now like, conducting meetings, like managing teams of people. He's dealing with people every single day. So you guys, if you are lacking communication skills, people skills, you're very introverted, there's one thing I recommend for you that will completely just change that. If you give it time and you're persistent, get into sales. If you get into sales, I promise you that you'll have the same results like me. As long as you're willing to adapt and grow and throw yourself in situations that breaks your comfort zone, you will definitely develop as a person. So there's no doubt about that at all. Okay. Now, at the end of the sales role, I decided to leave. Like, I just felt it was for what I wanted out of it, to progress and have my own company. Like I didn't feel like this route of making money was the avenue for me to go. But to be honest, at this point in time, I still had like some limiting beliefs. It was my perception of the world was still a little bit flawed. Um, so yeah, that I'd say is probably a factor as to why I did decide that it was time to leave. But it was the right call, because I'm somebody that lives true to my conscience. Okay, and the conscience is the authentic voice of God. So that voice that's telling that voice that is speaking to you every single minute, like every single day, parts of the day, when that voice calls, I follow. And that's why me making decisions is very easy now. Like, 'cause I trust myself. So whatever my conscience tells me to do, I follow. Whatever the consequences are, good or bad, I accept it because my conscience is that path that I'm supposed to walk. Okay. Now at this point in time, there's a few things I said, like I was like still mentally not all the way there. I felt like I had like what's the word? Like I had a shield on me. Like I felt like still a little bit trapped in the cage. Like I needed to release. Like something was holding me back still. And yeah, and then after that sales role, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. But that wasn't like the big change for me. What really changed me now to really like awaken and break free of anything holding me back and just not giving a fuck and just going after it, what I want, was becoming more spiritual, guys. Now, when I mean spiritual, I mean aligning myself with universal laws. Like once I started understanding universal laws, like this, like 10x plus my growth, my personal development growth. So being spiritual, like, the understanding like the universal laws, just aligning myself with the way the world is formed and the way the world operates. So yeah, I mean, what did Albert Einstein say? Like the energy exchange is the language of the universe. So when I started hearing things like that, started hearing things of law of attraction. So when everyone knows law of attraction, right? So what you think about, you attract, right? Law of compensation, when you give and give to people or to anything that you do, you pour in, like you give first, then you get in return. So, and just understanding all of this and just make sure that I'm congruent with the way I'm living, by aligning myself with just set universal laws, set universal principles, which elevates me now to a whole nother level. So all the limiting beliefs I had, and I started getting to quotes a lot as well, like really powerful quotes that just really hit me. So one of the quotes that really like just kind of made me work on myself to clear this doubt and fog in my head was, the world is not how it is, the world is how you are. So the world is not how it is. The world is the way you see the world, the way you perceive the world, the way you project your reality, the way you view your reality, sorry, and the way you project yourself on the world. So, and what you possess, so what you release is what you possess. So all these things, all these quotes, all these universal principles, laws that are just undeniable facts. Once I understood this and I started applying this to my life, combined with working out, combined with getting the confidence, combined with better people skills, this was like the finishing piece, really. And now, I mean, these are like, I'm aligned with this every single day with what I do, and it's completely just transformed my life. And this is my personal development growth for the last 7 years. And like I said, your level of success will never succeed your level of personal development. So personal development is always something that you should be doing every single day, because you're never at your best. There's always more to achieve. So yeah, it's been one hell of a journey, and there's much more to come. Like there's so many more levels for me to get to. This is like it's nothing. Like where I'm at now is absolutely nothing to where I'm gonna be in the future. But yeah, this is my personal development growth. I just wanted to make a video on this just so you can understand like the origins, like the way I think and the way I operate. So yeah, so stay tuned until the next episode, where it's gonna be crazy, like where I reach even higher levels in my growth and in what I thought was not possible. I saw. So stay tuned to the next episode. Until then, guys, peace and love.